What up, my guys? On to another show. Sunday NBA Talk with Jay. Three Kings show, man. We got our guy LJ in the house. We got our guy Chris B. Cappin as well, man. We finna break down these games. We got a 6 game slate. We're gonna get through it. Let you guys know what we're liking, let you know what's in our head, break down these games, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. We're not here to waste people's time. LJ, what's up with you, my brother? Everything cool with you?
Oh yeah, everything's good, Jay. Down here enjoying the festivities in San Antonio, right there with Pub. But looking to get some money today. I like the card. Got some good spots that we can attack, and let's get at it.
Let's get to it. What's up with you, Chris? Everything cool with you, my brother?
Yes, sir. Happy Sunday, man. To JLJ. It's been a minute since we did a show together, man. It
Yep.
feels good to
That's a
be back
fact.
together. Got the band back together. And shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for Jay for going live on a Sunday, man. Let's get to it, Jay. Let's get out there.
Yeah, let's get straight to it, my guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If y'all like the show, if y'all appreciate the Sunday show, all that good stuff, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, my guys. But as I always say, we're not here to waste your time. Let's head over here to the streets of Detroit in this one. Pistons getting 12.5 points at the house versus the New Orleans Pelicans in this one, my guys. Obviously, Pistons got some guys that's out, that's probably going to be out for the rest of the season. Pelicans are ball. I mean, they're going to be without Brandon Ingram for a little while, but they've balled. They went into Miami. It was like, all right, Jimmy going to guarantee a win. We got something for your ass, man. So the Pelicans are a hard-nosed team. I like seeing them get to that next level. They're a really well-coached team, a really deep team as well. They are laying a big number on the road here, but Pistons have kind of showed they're not really showing a much fight here lately, LJ. What do you like in this game, my brother?
I'm leaning heavy to the under, Jay. Just because Pelicans 12-3 into the under last 15 on the road, so they tend to play defense when they go out on the road, especially against lesser competition. So I don't believe Detroit will be able to keep up, maybe not even score 100 points. So for that reason, I stayed off of it just because I got a lot more action, but it's a heavy lean to the under, man. Detroit, they're fighting injuries right now. They're not going to be able to keep up with the Pelicans, I don't believe, man. So the fact that Brandon Ingram is out of that lineup is going to hinder them a little bit, but I still believe they have a better roster to compete with Detroit and possibly even cover that 12.5 spread. But Pelicans early and often, for the most part, since the first half, they trend to the first half, but I like to take it at home, supposed to be on the road, but heavy lean to the under.
Oh, I ain't gonna talk to y'all. What do you think about this one, Chris? You got any look on this game?
Yeah, I think LJ makes some really strong points towards the under, Jay. That's the only way I would look as well. Third game in 4 nights for the Pelicans, fourth game in
Mm-hmm.
6 nights for the Pels as well. Last game in 4 game road trip. They do got a big game against OKC on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
I
do.
and I don't know if they looking ahead, Jay, but that's enough to kind of keep me off, especially the big number. Sunday games can be crazy. Matinee start time can be crazy. And on the Detroit side, the big question mark for me was Jalen Duren not being there. Like,
Right.
well, not being there because he is listed as questionable with the back spasm. He missed that game on Friday though, when they got smoked by Boston. And
Late
I can't
scratch, Chris. At the last second, they
at
ruled
the
him out,
last
bro. It's
second,
crazy.
Jay. And that's why I can't play it. But to LJ's point, Jay, that's the way I would look. I think the only looking into the advanced numbers, I'm not going to bore people with them. But the only advantage that Detroit has is that they've been a really good rebounding team. And the Pelicans, if they're not locked in this spot, they can
Mm-hmm.
come in here and potentially let Duran kill them on the glass. But if Duran is ruled out, I'm running to the window, Jay, to bet that team total under that LJ just
Yeah.
said. Because without Fontecchio, without Taj Gibson, without Quentin Grimes, they don't have no shooters left.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Sir Thompson, he got the blood clot. So shout out to him. Hopefully everything goes well with him. But he got a blood clot that's keeping him out for the rest of the season. Same thing with Isaiah Stewart. He's gonna be done for the rest of the season, not the blood clot. But yeah, they don't have enough offense here, Jay. This team is trended towards the under. Pistons 4-0 to the under on their team total last four. Pelicans have been winning by about 13 points as road favorites since the All-Star break as well, which is right about this spread. So if he's out, Jay, I will be looking toward that team total to go under. I don't think if the Pelicans wanted to, they could come in here and hold this team to about 80 points. So
That's a fact.
that's the way I would look as well. But like I said, Durham means a lot because he does get a lot of those offensive rebounds. So Detroit team total under is the way I was looking, but it's dependent upon if Durham is going to be available with them back spasms.
Yeah, that's a fact. It was crazy, man. I was like, oh, they listed him in the starting lineup, and then it was like, oh, he scratched at the last minute. I was like, that was nasty business right there, man. But Pelicans, they've lost 5 straight games. They're only 1-4 against the spread, and it's the Pistons 0-5 straight up last five, then 1-4 against the spread last 5 games. They have played 9 of their last 10 games at the house. So for whatever reason, they haven't been really having to travel anywhere. They're comfortable at the house, but like you said, I mean, once you got Grimes missing, then Duran, it's just way too many guys. Then You're missing your young guy Thompson. Isaiah Stewart. Just way too many guys out for the Pistons. This isn't really like that pesky, scrappy Pistons team that they were like when they were going through that run where they were covering spreads. But Chris mentioned something. When you got the Pelicans here that's laying 12.5 on the road, last game of road trip, and then you got some big games on deck at the house. You got the Thunder, you got the Bucks, then you got the Celtics. So sometimes, especially on Sundays, it can be hard for these teams to kind of wake up, and it's an early start. It can be hard for these type of teams to get up here. So Pelicans are laying a huge number. You just need them to come out focused. This is a game that you watch and see how the Pelicans come out and approach this game. They are 8-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games, but this could possibly be a sleepy spot here. I like to stay off these type of games, my guys. Let's head over here to the streets of LA in this one. Clippers laying 9.5 points at the house, LJ, versus the Sixers. Total sitting at 214. What you like in this one?
Jay, I'm looking at the under in this game. Of course, the Sixers, without Embiid, they can't even get to 100 points. And it's been proven for the most part. Like, they've been 98 points in their last 3 games is what they're averaging. You know, ranked second last in offensive efficiency the last 3 games. I mean, it's maxi or nothing with the Sixers, man. So I believe the Clippers will come out strong. I don't want to take a side because I don't like trusting the Sixers, with a big number like that, because they could get lackadaisical in the second half and let these teams come back. But they still top 5 in offensive efficiency. Harden playing the Sixers again, so he may be in a revenge spot looking to put up some numbers versus them. But they're back home. The road trip was only 2 games versus Portland. That's not too far. And then they got embarrassed their last game versus the Hawks at home. So I think the Clippers will show pride. And Clippers, they like to play at the pace of their opponent. So the fact that the Sixers are trading to the under team total, under as well. I'm looking at the Sixers as well. But 8-0 to the under. They've been held under 100 points in those 5 games. So under 214 is my play. And I believe the Clippers will win the game. But I'm just going to focus on the under 214.5.
I like it. What about you, Chris? You got any thoughts on this game?
Man, it's a difficult one, Jay. I'll be real quick, but it's still Philly or nothing for me. I'm not a big believer in this Clipper team right now, Jay. If I'm being honest, and LJ made some great points. They did get smoked by the Atlanta Hawks before they went on that 2-game road trip. But think about that, Jay. Look who we talking about. They just played Portland twice, and they played Atlanta. This team, the strength of schedule has been terrible, man. Philly has actually been playing against some dogs lately. They just played the Lakers. They just played Phoenix. And LJ, you mentioned, their offense really struggling. They are the worst offensive rated team, which is crazy. Their offense is worse than Toronto and Charlotte over the last 5 games. But they have been playing against a much, better competition. I think they got some matchup advantages here. One thing that the Clippers don't do is they don't defend the 3-point line as well. And we know with the Sixers, all they want to do is shoot above the break threes. They also want to get out and run in transition. And Philly, they've been doing that. And the Clippers been a little lackadaisical. They also, this is another early start time game. And I looked into that. Clippers coming back home, Jay, off a game that they won and being a home favorite, just 4-8 against the spread. For whatever reason, when they come back home, they don't do great at covering these numbers. I know I'm not laying double digits with them with how bad their offense, how bad their defenses look. They're 1-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 4, coming back as a home favorite. Just 2-5 against the spread as a home favorite, laying double digits. And I think Philly can keep this one close, Jay. I know I'm not laying double digits. I just want to see what's going to happen on the injury report, because Norman Powell is listed as questionable. Daniel Tice is as well. And I just can't trust the Clippers defense right now, even though they got some wins against Portland. They didn't even cover one of those games. So
exactly,
this is a game where it'd be Philly or nothing for me, especially with the early start time here.
And that's what's scary with the Clippers as well, man. They were covering that game. They were smoking the Blazers. And before you know it, you get outscored 37-24 in the fourth quarter. And I believe Simons wasn't even playing in that game. No, Simons did play. He only played 22 minutes, though. He only had 3 points. So, he basically didn't even fucking play. And the Clippers still, struggle in that game. It's like they're kind of just – obviously, they just want to win the game. They don't care about blowing teams out. But, when you're talking about laying these big numbers, that's what you worry about with the Clippers. They have lost their last 3 home games. They lost versus the Hawks, got smoked by the Hawks, lost versus the Timberwolves, and lost versus the Bucks as well, which obviously aren't bad losses. Those 2 teams are great, but you can't be losing by 17 versus the Hawks. That just can't happen. So the Clippers are only 3-7 against the spread last 10 games. One of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. You never really know what you'll get from them. Same thing with Philly. You never know when they're going to play up, and you never know when Tyrese Maxey and them going to have a dud game. You know what I'm saying? But it does feel like it's a few too many points. The Sixers, it's the first game of back-to-back as well. They probably want to. This is probably their more competitive spot because then they playing the Kings tomorrow, man. So I'd lean towards the Sixers in this game, man. But it's not a game that I feel super confident in, to be perfectly honest with you. So over here to the streets of Miami in this one, really great game. Heat laying 4 at the house versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in this one. Obviously, the Heat just beat the Cavs not too long ago, but they are coming off a home loss. That spot where they were 0-6 against the spread, coming home off of a road game in this one. LJ, what you like in this game, my brother? You feel like this might be an under spot? This is like a early 2000s total right here, 203, my guys. What do you think in this one?
I mean, it possibly could go under because both of these teams are heavy trending to the under. But 203 is a low number, man, and I'm really, really hesitant on taking that. But as far as the Cavs, 8-2 to the under last 10 on the road. Heat 8-2 to the under last 10, 7-3 to the under last 10 at home. So both teams are dealing with injuries for the most part, and Cavs are averaging 101 their last 3. Heat 95. So man, I don't know. I mean, I want to take it, but it gives you 203, and that capped me at 196. So it gives me like a couple possessions. So who knows what to say? If I can hit a 3, get fouled, and it'll go over that total. So for that reason, I stayed off, man. But heavy lean, of course, to the under.
What do you think about this game, Chris? You think the Heat might bounce back at the house?
I think they can, Jay, and I see people in the comment section saying it's too low. I actually looked at a trend. I'll start there, Jay, with these teams playing in the revenge spot within a week. Not even a revenge spot, just a game, just 2 teams playing within 7-day time frame. The first game goes over because that game did go over. It barely squeaked over the total. I think it was 208 in the last game when they just played the other day. So if teams play within a week, the first game goes over, but the bookmakers adjust the total under for the second game. That's actually 93, 55, and 5 to the under. That's 62.8%. Says that this game does go under. So I agree with you there, LJ. But looking at Cleveland, Jay, for people who don't know, I did see that Mobley was listed as questionable after missing the last 9 games.
He could come back. He might come back. Yeah.
Also, some inside info, Jared Allen had a real bad hand laceration right between his index finger. I know you probably saw that as well, Jay. Banged it up real bad, needed some glue to kind of close it. So he wasn't even on the injury report. He could potentially be downgraded to questionable. Not sure how that's going to be. And that's one of the things kind of kept me off the total because I definitely want him out there for that. But I don't really want to trust the Cavs, Jay. I really, really don't, man. That's the difficult part.
I don't want to trust either one of these
motherfuckers. Me either. I don't either. But I think Cleveland coming off a loss could be a little bit more motivated in this spot. I did look into this because we know that the Heat don't typically cover at home. However, when the Heat are laying 4 points or less, Jay, they are 9-3 straight up, 8-4 against the spread. So, a beat up Cleveland team, they still going to be without Dean Wade, no Donovan Mitchell, no Max Strus, potentially get Mobley back. It's a difficult game. It'd be under for me. This could be the rock fight type of game where first team to score 97 points win the game, 95 points win the game. And it's super familiar. This is the 4th game of the season series as well, Jay. So I kind of like the under a little bit more than picking a side, and that's the only way I would play it too.
Hey, I'm not going to talk you off. Yeah, I saw that same thing with Allen. He left back to the locker room, came back into the game. And when you're playing basketball, that's something like whether you're rebounding, trying to block a shot, dribbling the ball, passing, catching the ball, whatever. When you have a laceration like that, first off, it's not just going to heal up like quick, especially some on your hand. You know how you wash your hands a bunch? Well, I hope he'd be washing his hands a lot, but that's not that's not something that heals up easy over there. But you got Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Caleb Martin as well on the Heat side. So you got a few injuries that obviously neither one of these teams really can afford to be missing guys. Obviously the Cavs can't afford to be missing their shooters because Dean Wade stepped in, was hitting some threes from him, but more importantly, Max Strus, they brought him over there because they were lacking shooting. See what I'm saying? So then you still without Donovan Mitchell as well. 2 teams, again, that's really hard to figure out, guys, to be perfectly honest with you. Cavs have only won 4 of their last 10 games, and same thing with the Heat. Only won 4 of their last 10 games, and the Heat are 3-7 against the spread as well. So I'm sure they'd like to bounce back at the house coming off of a dud where Jimmy was talking about, and I guarantee another win. Then you only score 88 points. So I'm sure that they'd like to get the job done, but if I'd like the Heat here, I need Triple J in there, and I need Martin full squad, and then they'll probably have enough to beat the Cavs here once again in this one. So wait for the injury report in this one, and we know if Mobley comes back, he'll probably be on a minutes restriction as well. So I would lean towards the Heat in this one, but you need Triple J and you need Martin in that one for sure. I lean towards them bouncing back here at the house. The Cavs seem like they're kind of sliding. They're on a slide right now with all these injuries, guys. So if
you got gorgeous knee out there, Jay. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That man, come on, man. My guy, baby Zion out there, man. It's a baby Zion. Let's go over here to the streets of Minnesota in this one. Wolves land 2 points at the house versus the Warriors. Man, this Warriors team is sad as hell, man. The writing has been on the wall for a while. This team is trash, guys. This team is trash. I think it's time to like start fading these guys every single game. The Wolves have already beaten them twice this year as well. We know that the Warriors are going to they're going to struggle with size, and the Wolves are one of the biggest teams out there. You see what I'm saying? Even without Carlton Towns, Nas Reed and Rudy Gobert could just absolutely feast in this one. Now, obviously, they're playing with us with the injury report, but I mean, all three of the guys played last game: Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Nas Reed. So they popped on the injury report. Questionable here again, and it's crazy because they even put the line down as well, like they might actually not play. So you actually getting a discount here if you like the Wolves here, LJ. Line was at 4, went down to 2. Wolves have covered 5 straight games. They've won 4 of their last 5 as well. Do you think they keep it going here?
No, I don't, but I'm not going to take the side because anything can happen. A -2 is a short number. 2.5, that's a short number. So that's a possession. But I took the under 219, and this is why I did it. Just because the Wolves 6-4 to under last 10 at home, and the Warriors trend to the under on the road, 8-2 to under last 10 on the road. And the Warriors are also 11-6 against the spread as a road dog. So they play well in this spot. So Steph could, potentially have a good game coming off, some lackluster games. He's been performing as well. And the injuries that the Wolves have, those are key points. So Anthony Edwards is going to have to do everything. And I just think he's going to run out of gas eventually. He's been doing a lot these past couple of games. So once you run into a team, that's really, really trying to fight for something because the Warriors are still trying to get out of that play-in, even though they still have to get these wins up. I believe they're going to fight in this game. But I just stick to the under, and I'm just going to jump on the prop. Speaking of Steph, I'm going to take his 4+ assists, and I'm going to take the Warriors to win. I'm going to take a shot on it at +196 just because the Wolves are allowing the second most assists to the point guard. Last 6 point guards is averaging 8 assists on them. So I'm going to take Steph's 4+ assists, thinking he's going to dish the ball, be a facilitator, let the team get involved. And I think the Warriors can possibly win this game. So those are my plays. Steph 4+ assists, Warriors to win, +196, and I'm on the under 219.
Hey, I couldn't talk to y'all, Chris. The Warriors, they have been road warriors. For whatever reason, this year, they've been the ass at the house. And then when they go on the road, that's when they really step up. I feel like this could be a Wiggins. Wiggins used to play for the Wolves over there. I remember he got traded for I believe got traded like in the Kevin Love package. LeBron traded my guy away over there. But I feel like Andrew Wiggins, like over his points and rebounds, is a really good look in this game. It's low too. It's like at like 14.5. I think that's a good look here, Chris. But I couldn't talk LJ off. Maybe the Warriors come out here like soon as you think they're done, that's when they'll probably come in and take everybody's money, especially on a Sunday like this as well. But one of the Jekyll and Hyde teams, Chris, what we doing here?
Desperation spot, Jay. That's how we always cap the games, right? Motivation. You got double revenge here. You got Golden State. Don't look now. Houston is a game and a half behind them.
I looked.
A game and a half behind them after they blasted the Utah Jazz yesterday. And you mentioned it, Jay. They only 5-12 straight up on the road, but this is a short number. 11-6 against the spread as road dogs are the Golden State Warriors. And I was reading through, I was trying to pick anything, Jay, because I'm like, bro, the Warriors can't keep losing. Like they only 6-4, 4-6 straight up, and against the spread in their last 10 games. And I found the quote from Steph, Jay. He says, every game is a little different, so it's not an easy position to be in, Curry said, especially when the game matters and every game counts. There needs to be a sense of urgency in how we finish this last stretch of games. When I hear urgency, I heard Bradley Beal say urgency last Sunday after they got smoked by the Bucks.
Yeah.
And they ain't lost a game or not covered the spread since. So to me, I mean, even if Golden State doesn't come out and win the game, I think maybe first half could be in play because I do expect the urgency in this spot. I mean, you got it. They know that Houston ain't lost a game in about 2 years. And Houston right on their tail. So I think that's it, Jay. I mean, of course, if Rudy Gobert gets ruled out, I see the number all the way down to 1.5 on seasons as well. So I know that Golden State hasn't been necessarily the greatest team. The defense has really struggled, but that Pacers team and this Minnesota Timberwolves team, not the same. And I also think when we think about the motivation for Minnesota, granted, they need to keep winning. Denver won yesterday. They're trying to, keep pace with OKC and win the Western Conference. However, they are off a satisfying revenge win themselves against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday. So motivation spot, Jay, I think you go to state, you got to throw all your chips in the middle of the table in this spot That's the only way I would look as well. I like that under, like you said though, too. LJ, that makes a ton of sense to me. I had a couple things to back it, but it's the under spot for me. I think Golden State plays defense. Minnesota can struggle to score the ball as well. And to me, when I hear urgency, I think about more defense than offense for this Golden State team, Jay. And their defense has been better on the road for whatever reason. So under with you, LJ, is the way I would play it. I would also be taking Golden State. A little sprinkle on that money line, Jay, if I had to get involved, but I didn't play either yet.
Yeah, that's a fact there. Yeah, it could be like a playoff style type of game. The Wolves love playing them type of games. I do agree that Ant has been going crazy lately, but like sometimes when he has a really great defender on him, that's something I've noticed. Sometimes he can tend to struggle. You see what I'm saying? But you got to put you're gonna have to put Wiggins on him. You're gonna have to put Kuminga or Wiggins. Like don't put Clay on we better not see a single play with Clay or Steph on Anthony Edwards, because he's gonna see food over there, man. But I do still have like a little bit of hope that the Warriors, because you never count out the heart of a champion. You know what I'm saying? But like you can't be losing those games versus the Pacers where you're up double digits and before you know it, you're down double digits. I know the Pacers can ball, but man, the Warriors, man. Oh man, I just don't. They just say Jalen Duren just got ruled out, but I see the same thing you're seeing, Chris. Spread going down. I know that it's a sense of urgency spot with the Warriors. It's just really hard for me to trust them, man. But I do know that they got to start winning games. Like the sense of urgency, like they feel Houston hadn't fucking lost at all, man. So Warriors keep playing around, and the Rockets got a soft schedule too. Before you know it, you're in the 11th spot. But I like what somebody said in the chat. NBA is not missing a Warriors Lakers play-in game. Like that's gonna have so many viewers there. That's not gonna happen there. And we know the Wolves can be up and down as well. So I can't talk you guys off Warriors. I'm not gonna get there. I'm gonna watch and enjoy. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they got it done. I wouldn't be surprised with either one happened. My guys say Draymond ejection plus 200 here. The under could be a really good look. But I think Andrew Wiggins over his points and rebounds is a good look, man. He might go for 10 boards in this game, guys. Let's go over to the streets of Milwaukee in this one. Bucks laying 2 at the house versus the Thunder in this one, LJ. I'm leaving the casino last night, my guys. No lie. This is no lie. Y'all know I don't have to lie. I almost hit a deer, bro. A deer fucking running across the road. No lie. So the car in front of me almost hit a deer, and then I go up a little bit, and there's more deer that's running, even after the other car go. And I said, I feel like the Bucks might get the job done tomorrow, man. Because every time I see a deer, I've never seen one leaving the casino. It's usually when I go. But I feel like the Bucks are going to be the right side here. And I don't really like what I'm seeing from Brook Lopez. He's looking slow as hell out there. But what did the Thunder do? They struggle versus teams with size. Bobby Portis, even slow as Brook Lopez, they might have a good matchup in this particular game. I know Chet's been balling, but they don't really have a backup center out there, LJ. I feel like this could be a Bucks spot. This is a step-up spot as well on NBA TV. Thunder been balling, but they're going up against some top competition here. This could be a statement game for Milwaukee Bucks here, LJ. What you like to hear?
Oh, man, I like a lot in this game, Jay. This is my biggest bet of the day right here. Bucks minus the 1 first half. I mean, they're at home. This is where they play their best ball. 20-11 against the spread in the first half at home. 6-4 against the spread the last 10 in the first half at home as well. Averaging a .83 in their last 3. And the reason why I got to that number is because they're averaging a 0.8 point margin at home on the season in the first half. So that number's low. I believe they come out early. You know, OKC 2-7 against the spread in the first half on the road, their last 10 overall. So they start off slow and they try to keep up in the second half. But I'm with you today. I think the Bucks ultimately win the game as well. And I'm going to jump on both of the stars on the Bucks. I'm going to jump on Giannis. I'm going to take his over 6.5 assists. And I got it at minus 167. I know it's juice, but I also parlayed it with 6+ and the Bucks to win at plus 160. Because I believe that OKC is going to try to stop Giannis, try to build a wall, keep him out of the paint, to try to, get on the boards, but he will have those opportunities to pass and get his other players involved. And he's hovering right at 6 or 7 in assists a game for the most part. And, he hasn't played the last 2 home games versus the Western Conference. He missed the Suns game and he missed that Clippers game. So I believe he's going to be prime, ready to go. He had a mediocre performance the last game coming back versus the Nets. So I believe he's going to want to make a strong performance today, be prime, ready to go. I'm on Damian Lillard. Over 24.5 points, minus 124. He's averaging 25 points at home. 9 out of the last 11 home games versus the West, he's hit this number. And I believe that the fact that OKC doesn't double team the backcourt for the most part, they let these, shooters, isolate and score. It's going to be a lot of opportunities for Damian Lillard to shoot that 3 because he loves to come off that pick and roll, shoot that 3, and he can drive to the basket, get the and one. I believe he's going to be heavily involved in this game. A lot of scoring. And he likes to play against Shea. 25 plus points he's averaging versus Shea. I know it was in Portland, but he knows this team. That was his division in Portland. So
Facts.
I believe he's going to have a strong game. So I'm on Damian Lillard over 24.5 points. Giannis 6+ assists, Bucks to win. And I'm on the first half -1 because that's where the Bucks play their best ball at home in the first half.
I'm not gonna talk you off here. Who's guarding Giannis here? That's what I want to know, Chris. Who the fuck is guarding Giannis in this game, man? What you like in this one, Chris?
They'll try to build their wall, Jay. I don't know if they got enough, but if you think back to like I remember when Embiid went to OKC last year and they held him to like 15 points, but he had a triple-double because they just doubled him. Like they just try to build their wall as much as they possibly can. And that's why I think what LJ said about Giannis assists, which he been getting them anyway. He put his head down, get to the rim. But I think OKC got a shot. I didn't take them. They are one of the better ATS teams as road dogs. We can't forget that. 7-4 straight up. So they win these games as dogs. 7-3-1 against the spread. 6-2-1 if they're a short road dog or 4 points or less as well. This was a game that this is the game for me, Jay, that I'm gonna sit back and watch because I do kind of feel like looking at the Bucks the Bucks defense. They have been susceptible to giving up a ton of points. They're bottom rated defensively over the last 5 games. I think OKC. I did a show earlier and everybody liked the Bucks as well. And I'm not gonna talk about y'all, but I do think that OKC can score. So it'd be OKC team total over in this game. Just not really trusting that Bucks defense, Jay. But I'll stay away from the side. OKC team total is 115.5. I see it -107. I do think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Total already going up. I think it opened at 231, up to 233. For me, the Bucks defense can't be trusted, but OKC, that's what it's been for me as well, Jay. They really didn't kind of fell off just over the since the All-Star break defensively. So I agree with the money coming in on the over. I haven't played an over in a very long time because unders are hitting at 60% since the All-Star break. So it's been a lot of unders and nothing for me. I like to be contrarian, but this is a game that I actually like the over on, Jay, and I probably stick to OKC team total to go over as well. Bucks like to get out and run. OKC is the best fast break defense in the league. And I think that they'll be able to score in this game as well. SGA, Jalen, all of those guys, Chet Holmgren, all those guys. I think they'll be able to score as well.
Yeah, if I like the Thunder, I'd take SJ points. Now, this is an NBA TV game. So this is a game that if Shea wants to show out in front of everybody on national TV, this is a game that he definitely will want to go over his 30 points in this one. But one thing I had to say, Giannis was out for like 4 games, Chris. So that could skew the numbers there a little bit as far as the Bucks defense. Because remember, since Doc Rivers has gotten there, their defense has been like night and day from before. So when Giannis is out, he's not in there. Obviously, I mean, you just depend on Brook Lopez. He's a good defender at the rim, but he can barely get up and down the floor. So if this is a slower game, that benefits guys like Brook Lopez. When it's fast-paced game, my guy can barely keep up in this. He can barely keep up, man. Brook Lopez might not be able to jump over a loose leaf sheet of paper, Chris, but I do think this is a Buck spot. I think this is a step-up spot for them. They kind of been BSing around. Thunder have been playing some cupcakes and still not covering the spread. They're only 3-7 against the spread last 10 games, 2-7 last 9 as well, my guys. So while they've been winning 8-2 straight up, some of these teams they've been playing some cupcakes, man. When they went out there and played a real team, even at the house, they've been playing a lot of home games as well. 6 of their last 8 games have been at the house. 5 of their last 7 have been at the house. So they're on the road in the crazy environment here. I think the Bucks got enough for them. And like I say, if Giannis gets going in this one, if Malik Beasley is hitting threes, if Dame Lillard is hitting threes in this one could get a little ugly here. I like the Thunder team. I think they can ball. I wouldn't be surprised if they won here. But if I like the Thunder, I would more look towards Shea having a really great game because he's been like playing lackluster lately. But as far as like just the size advantage, the rebounding, I do think the Bucks have the advantage in this one, my guys. So I'd be taking the Bucks money line this one. I wouldn't talk you off first half as well. Could be a spot where you take Bucks in the first half, and if they'll cover it, obviously you'll get a better line for the full game as well, my guys. Last game up, in-season tournament revenge game in this one. Lakers laying 3.5 at the house versus the Pacers in this one. I really was hoping that the Pacers would come off a loss in this one because they've been really great at bouncing back. Unfortunately, they ended up coming back because I was like, all right, I'm getting exactly what I want. Warriors up, and then they come back and beat them. Now they had a day off in LA, but this is in-season tournament revenge, man. And I can only look towards the Pacers, heavily lean towards the Pacers in this one, LJ. And I actually think they get the job done. Lakers have been balling, and they're a really great team at the house. And this is their 10th home game in the last 11 games. They hadn't really had to travel anywhere. It's crazy, man. The schedule makers be helping them boys out. But they do ball out at the house. But I feel like the Pacers gonna be pissed off from not getting that money over there, LJ. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. They have been at home a lot. They're 15-6 in their last 21 home games. So, of course, they've been winning because they ain't had to go nowhere. So, this is the facts that's the situation that they've been playing in very well. But I'm all on the under, man. 241. I jumped on it early. Indiana 15-4 to the under last 19, 9-2 to the under last 11. Not to mention 18-81 to the under versus the Western Conference, man. So all that points to an under to me. I believe the Lakers going to come out, play some defense, try to slow Indiana down from that fast pace, try to play half court, try to play their tempo. So I believe it just goes under. I'm not going to pick a side because I do believe the Pacers probably could win the game, because the Lakers can cause turn the ball over in crucial times because I've seen it done. Even LeBron will do it, trying to do too much. So the Pacers could pretty have some fight in them because, like you say, it's a revenge versus them in that NC tournament. But I'm going to go focus on LeBron as well, man. I'm going to take his over 7.5 assists. He has to get 8. He's hit it 11 out of his last 12 games. In the last game, he didn't get this. So that gives me more reason to jump back on it as well. Plus, the Pacers allow the third most assists to the small forward. And who leads all small forwards in assists? That would be LeBron James. So over 7.5 assists for LeBron. And I'm all over the under J, 241.5.
I'm not going to talk you off there. I kind of like the under because this could be a playoff game here once again, Chris. And the Pacers sneakily have gotten a lot better defensively. They've gotten a lot better defensively. 241 seems high here, Chris. What are we doing? What are we doing? I feel like we should all hop on the under here.
I'm on the under as well, Jay. I think the under 241. So I'm gonna let it go up. Braun get ruled in because he always listed as questionable. It might get to 243. And that's the same thing that happened, right? The same thing that happened with the Golden State game. It opened at 239 the other night. It closed at 242. It ain't sniffed 240. It ain't sniff it at all. And that's because, like you said, Jay, the Pacers been playing defense. Top 4 defensive rated team over the last 2 weeks, which is crazy to think. Also, from a side perspective, I can't get there with the Lakers, Jay. You talk about how they keep taking people money. This team is 1-7 against the spread since the All-Star break if they're coming off a win. And they just beat Philly on Friday. Their team total, Jay, 122.5. I think is a tad bit too high. That's another way I'm looking at playing it. They've scored 122 points or more just one time in this spot, coming off a win, and that was against the Wizards. Like we can't even count that. LJ gave out some great numbers for the Pacers under, but they're 13-10 to the under as road dogs this season, including 5-2 in their last 7. They're 3-1 straight up and against the spread, and 3-1 to the under as road dogs since the All-Star break. Only the Pelicans went over their team total in that spot as well. So 123 is a really, really high number, man. Pacers 10-6 against the spread as road dogs when the total is 240 or higher as well. And the Lakers 0-3 in their last 3 as home favorites with a total of 240 or higher as well. So in-season revenge, Jay, you mentioned it, probably looking at the Pacers, but the Lakers are so Jekyll and Hyde, I can't get them right. And it's my team, so I become emotionally and financially invested. I'm not doing both. So I'll play the under here with LJ and look towards the Lakers team total to go under 122.5 as well. Just thinking that the Pacers keep the defense going. And also, got to mention this, Jay. Pacers, first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Clippers tomorrow. 10-2 against the spread are the Pacers on the first leg of a back-to-back. Pretty sure that's the best in the NBA. 9-3 straight up in that spot as well. And they're 3-0 to the under in their last 3. So Pacers defense really coming to play. And it's crazy to think. Last thing I want to mention, Jay, the Lakers score a ton of their points either in the paint with LeBron putting his head down or Anthony Davis, or they shoot a bunch of threes. The Pacers are top 5 against the 3. And I don't know how, because I know Miles Turner's not that great of a defender, but the Pacers are actually top 2 in paint protection as far as points allowed and frequency at the rim over the last 2 weeks. So it's going to be difficult for the Lakers to score, man. I definitely like their team total a little bit more, but I'm going to play the full game under 240, whatever it is when it closed, and whatever the highest it get, and I'm going to take the Lakers team total under 122.5 here.
Yeah, I think it does make sense because Siakam, he's a very underrated defender. And then you got Jalen Smith. He's out there for all defense. Like, my guy really doesn't even be looking to score. So they got him and Toppin that can kind of defend the rim as well. So they got size coming off the bench. This Pacers team sneakily is like becoming a real, like, very rounded team, in my opinion here. If the Lakers don't come to play, like D'Angelo Russell isn't going crazy in this one, AD decides that he want to play or take a night off, they could fuck around and get blown out in this game. I know the Pacers are like, all right, last time we seen y'all, because I was at that game, and the Pacers like really held up with the Lakers there for a while before they blew it open in the fourth. It got down to like a 2 or 4 point lead, man. I was like, oh shit, the Pacers might come back and win this. So man, I'm looking at my homie like, bro, what's going on here? And then the Lakers end up blowing it open. We knew they were supposed to win that one, but I think the Pacers are the right side here. And if they are going to win this game, it's going to be, they got to come out lock in defensively as well. So I'll play the under. I'll put a little something on the under 241 with you guys, man. But we went through all 6 games, gave you plenty of info, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. LJ, recap your picks for us, my brother.
Man, of course, we start off with the Pelicans in Detroit. I'm on under 217, of course. 76ers Clippers, I'm also under the 214.5. I'm on Bucks first half -1. They played well in that spot. And we also just said we jumped on that under 241 on the Pacers and Lakers. And I'm also on the under 219 Warriors and Wolves. It's an under day, Jay. I believe all these games possibly could go under, except the Bucks and OKC game. That game could go over. But the rest of these games could all be under. So those are my picks for the day, Buckeye.
I like it. I like it. What's up, Chris? What we doing, my brother?
Glad you. I'm shit. I think LJ got in my notes, Jay, because I like them. I like them unders too. I like them unders, LJ, and I like that one over that you talked about as well, man. So soon as Durant got ruled out, Jay, I went ahead and jumped on that Detroit team total under. I talked about that a little bit before, so I did play that at 102.5, which I think is still available. I see it available in a couple books right now. I think they really struggle to score now. So give me Detroit team total to go under 102. Only other play that I officially locked in is the Lakers team total under 122. And like I said, I'm gonna wait for the full game, and I'm gonna play the under there with you guys as well. Honorable mentions, Jay, and I could potentially get to the window. I want to see what happens with the injury report. Cleveland team total under in Miami. We know Miami's been heavily trending toward the under as well. 8-2 to the under. Golden State, Minnesota, like you said, LJ, I haven't played it yet, but 220.5. The sense of urgency that we talked about, I'll be looking at Golden State early in that spot. So those are in Philly, Jay. Like I said, plus 10.5. Man, if Norman Powell's not in there, I'm smashing that too. I got to get some of that early matinee money. So those are the top looks for me today, Jay. Appreciate you having me on as always, and good to see you, my guy, LJ.
Already, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you,
hey,
man.
we got to do this again next Sunday, man. Maybe even Saturday if y'all open for it. I'll see what the game's looking like, but next weekend we'll be back. As long as y'all good for it, I'm down with it, man. But I'm going ahead and play that Lakers Pacers under with y'all under 241. My honorable mentions would be Pacers plus 3.5, and I got a feeling that the Bucks get the job done. I like this Thunder team, and they can ball, and this is an NBA TV game, but I feel like we're going to get in both of these NBA TV games. I feel like we're going to get one favorite and one dog, and I think the favorite is obviously going to be the Bucks, and then the dog is going to be the Pacers. That's just how I'm looking at it. That's what I'm feeling. So I feel like Bucks and the Pacers are the right side, but I will go ahead and put a little something with you guys with the, you know what I'm saying, the Three Kings collaboration.
I like that money line parlay. Bucks and Pacers. Money line parlay.
I think that's cash right there, my brother. But I'll go ahead and put a little something on y'all with y'all making a trifecta on the under 241 Pacers Lakers, my guys. Hell of a show, my guys. Hell of a show, man. We got to do this shit again next Saturday, next Sunday. We'll do it. We'll talk about it, man. But whenever y'all ready, y'all always welcome on. We appreciate everybody in the chat as well. Type "we will win" in the chat view. Coming back and watch the show. Comment on the comment below. We will win, man. It's all positive vibes. Hope everybody has a great Sunday, great day. Start of a new week, man. New money, all that good stuff, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button. We out, my guys. Let's go. Let's cash.
Let's get it.